Hello all. In my previous class, I have discussed the read mode, write mode in the files, and how to make a directory, what is my directory, and how to make a directory, remove a directory. Now, in this class, I have going to discuss the file methods. That means the file object methods in order to manipulate the different types of files. So, in this file method, first one is the close method. So by using this close method we can closes the already open file. So the syntax for this close method is the file object dot close. It has no parameters and this method doesn't return any value. So program here, the following program here I have taken a variable fo and open. This is the function to open a file. Foo.txt is my file name. This is already created file, and I have taken the fo.txt as an argument here, and it is open the WB mode. That means the return mode, that is in the binary format, and then printing some statement onto the output screen, and then calling the and passing a parameter as fo.name, and then close the same file. So as soon as the compile executed those three lines, the output is the following fo.txt. Why? Because here I have passed the fo.name calling the function file name. That's why the file name has printed onto the output screen. And next one is the file flush method. So this flush method flushes the internal buffer like studio flush. This may be some file like object. So the syntax of file flush method is the file object dot flush. It has no parameters. This method doesn't return any value. So consider the following program. fo is equal to open of. I am opening a file in WB mode and then printing the file name onto the output screen. Just wait. Yes, consider the program here. Just printing the file name onto the output screen, then printing the method flush onto the, then calling the method flush by using the fo is the variable. So and then closing the same file. So the output would be the fo.txt. And next one is the file number. That means the buffer, it clears the buffer, internal buffer value. That is the main aim of the flush method. And next one is the file number. So it returns the integer file descriptor that is used by the underlying implementation to request input output operation. So file object dot file number, so it represents the file number. It has no parameters. This method returns the integer file description onto the output screen. So consider the following program for the method called method file number. This is the programs. Here open a file in, first of all I have taken a variable fo, open a file and in WB mode, then printing the name file onto the output screen, then fid is another variable, and here I am initiating this value to the file number. I am getting the file number using the file number method, then printing the fid onto the output screen, then closing the same file. So file descriptor means text, that means the 3, that means the name of the number of the lines. File number is 3, that is file descriptor is 3, that is printed on the output screen. And next one is the next method is the is ATTY. That means returns the true if the file is connected. That means the file is connected, is associated with a terminal device or to ATTY device. This method returns the true if the file is connected to something. That means the file object of is ATTY. So suppose take consider the program. Here I have taken a file foo.txt that is in double mode, then printing the file name on the output screen, and then taken a variable ret, and then calling the method ecatty, then return the same value onto the output screen, then closing the file name. Here the value is here consider first the name of the file printed on output screen, and then next the return value is false. Why? Because the file is not connected to the any device. That is why the return value is false printed onto the output screen. next method is the file, that is the this method does not, that means a file object in Python doesn't support the next method. So Python 3 has a built-in function next which retrieves the next item from the iterator. So there is no method next in the Python 3, so by default it has a function. It has two parameter, iterator and default. Iterator file object specifies the which lines are to be read, and default specifies returned if iterator exhausted. This method returns the next input line to be read in a file. And here I have taken a program. Suppose fo is equal to open a file in read mode, printing the file name on the output screen. Then I have taken a five range lines, and next to f4, that means here line is equal to reading the line by line and printing the line and closing the same value. So I have the file reading the line numbers, printing the line numbers, first line C plus, second line Java, third line Python, fourth line parallel, fourth line PHP. Next one is the read mode. File read mode means I have reading the file of size. So file object dot read is the of size is the syntax. Size parameter specifies the number of bytes to be read from the file, and next one is the return method returns the bytes read in the file. How many bytes I have read the file in the method. So we have taken a program. Fo is equal to open a file in R plus mode, printing the file name and then reading the file 10 lines and printing the how many lines I have read onto the output screen, and then closing the same file. So here name of the file is printed as foo.txt, and read line where I have read the this is 1s, I have read the that line, so that is printed onto the output screen. Next method is the read line method. So this method reads the one entire line from a file. So and next one is the a trailing new line character is kept in the string. Suppose syntax for this method is the file object dot read line of size. So the size parameter is the number of bytes to be read from the file, and return where this method returns the line read from the file. And then here I have taken a program, and it is in the R plus mode, and name of the file would be fo.name, and then read line method. This read line method ranges the number of lines. So this and then closing the same file. So where the cursor is in the first line, that is only first line printed, and then read line is this where the cursor is placed is the printed onto the output screen. And then next method is the read lines method. So the syntax is the read lines of size hint, and next one is method returns a list containing the lines, and next one is the following example I have taken. First printing the lines, next calling the method read lines, printing the same read lines onto the output screen. Here I have read the only two lines, so those are printed onto the output screen. File seek method sets the file current position at the offset. So the seek syntax is the offset comma whence. So here the offset is the position of read write pointer within the file, and next one is the hence method is the specify default is 0, which means the absolute file positioning. So this method returns some, doesn't return any value. So I have open a file in I have open a file, then then printing the file name, then calling the read lines method, and then printing the read lines, and next seek the method of 0 comma 0, just read line the method read the number of lines, and then printed close the same file, get the following output. And file tell method, the tell method returns the current position of the file read write pointer. So a file object dot tell, it has no parameters, it method returns the current position of the file read or write. And next one is open a file in read plus mode, and then open a file, printed the file name on the output screen, then read the number of lines and print the lines on the output screen, then tells the compiler where the file position, actual read write position, then close the same file. And next one is the file truncate method. This truncate method truncates the file size. That means the file object of truncate of size is the file syntax. And next one is size method. Size parameter is the optional argument. The file is truncated at that size. Oh, next one is the program. I have taken a open file in R plus mode, then printing the file name and then reading the number of lines and printed onto output screen, then truncating the read lines method and then printing method and then close the same file. So that is the truncate method. Next one is the write method. That means writes a string str to the file object that write of str. This is the string to be written and how many which string I have written to the specific file. Taken a program fo is equal to open of abc.txt. It in the R plus mode. Next, name of the file printed onto the output screen. Next is the sixth line where I have printed a sixth line string 0 comma 2, that is the I have written a str. That means str has some text, that is this is the sixth line that he has written onto the output screen. So this is the number of lines printed onto the range is specified. Range is also specified, that is 6. That's why the first 6 lines in the file printed onto the output screen. And next method is the write lines method. Write lines method writes a sequence of strings to the file. So the syntax is a file object or write lines of sequence parameter is the sequence of strings, and then I have taken a program, open a file in read plus mode and printing the file name and then written the 2 lines of sequence, then seek method called and returns, and then taken a variable write lines of sequence. That means I have write lines of sequence, and then I am seeking the variable and then I have to write the 7 lines. So from 0 position 6th position 7 lines are opened in a file, that is abc.txt, and then closing the same file I have opened. So this is the something about file methods. So different types of file methods in order to manipulate the files. And the next class I shall discuss the directory files. So these are used to manipulate the directories. Please say if you hope you have understand the methods. So please understand the methods with syntax and go through the examples, so you have an idea about the program. In next class I shall discuss the directory methods in files, so that we shall cover the concept. And please subscribe my channel Jairam Infotech and like my videos and share these videos to reach many. And thank you all. Have a nice day.